Welcome to 1,000 Women, 1,000 Ways. And Briar is with us today telling her inspiring story. Welcome to Inspiring Stories, Briar.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Nervous. A bit nervous, I think, yeah.
That's awesome that you've come on today to share your story. Because you were saying earlier that you are struggling a bit with social anxiety, and one of the reasons that you want to come on is to help overcome that and also inspire others that they too can do that.
Yeah. Internally, I know that it's something that I need to move through. And yeah, so I am nervous at the moment, but I think it's knowing that I need to get through it. So I think that knowing helps me move through it easily. But yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle. It's on you, I guess.
Yeah, I take my hat off to you. You're showing a lot of courage, and you're great. You're looking relaxed. And one of the reasons you want to share the story is to help others. So what things are you doing to help yourself forward through that?
The last week, I've completely shut myself off from everybody. My phone, I turned my phone off. I didn't answer the door to anybody because I knew internally that there was stuff there that needed to be fixed. And everybody's got problems. Just some people feel like they've got a need to put it onto other people, where I know that I can't do that. And it's not my job to put my problems onto other people. I don't have a right to do that. So, I'll sort them out in my own house and in my own time, and that's what everybody should do.
So it's like taking time out, taking the steps back.
Yeah, knowing that you can trust yourself really, and that you're doing the right things.
And what's, within a week, yourself, what did you come up with?
So beginning of the week was tough, and then I got guided to paint my entire bedroom from not a nice blue to a cream, and I've got sacred geometry everywhere, and it's beautiful. And I drew it, and it looks amazing, and I'm so happy with it. So at the end of the week, I've sat back in my room, and I've enjoyed it. So I can't be more happier that I've listened to the right guiding message. Yeah, it's good.
That's brilliant, because it sounded like you took time out and got clarity.
Yeah, and I listened to myself. I wasn't listening to other people, and I've always had a struggle where internally, not completing stuff because, just going my own way and feeling like that's a bad choice. But this time I know that I made the right choice, and I'm happy with where I'm at, even with the choices I've made up to now. From 2 years ago, I'm happy with where I'm at. Even if it wasn't 2 years ago, a nice feeling, I'm happy now for it. Yeah.
So it's like a 2-year journey. It didn't happen instantly. It was
been a
day by day.
very long journey, and it's been a tough journey at that, and it's very painful as well. It's not an easy journey to go through if you're trying to find yourself. It's hard, and it's hard work, but if you're willing to find yourself and if you want to be happy, you have to do it. And it's life is not easy at all. It's not there to be easy. It's always there to be challenged, and we always have to find ourselves, and we always have to be happy. Otherwise we're not really doing anything to benefit the world or the universe.
So if we go back 2 years ago then, where your journey started, where was Briar then?
A ball of mess. I didn't even know who I was actually. It started the internal journey started 2 years ago, just to try and find who I was, where I wanted to go, what my dream was, why am I the person I am, why do I feel like I'm that person that is helping everybody. And I didn't actually know why I've got this nice aura and people feel like they can come to me for answers and stuff. I didn't even know that, and it was unhappy just not knowing who I was. It was confusing. So yeah, and it's been tough, just internally doing it by myself, because I didn't have anybody there to help me. I was there to help other people, but I didn't have anybody. I had to do it all by myself. And YouTube was my biggest thing. The motivational speeches on YouTube saved my life every single day. Without a doubt, on the way to work, I'd listen to it. On the way back from work, I'd listen to it. And yeah, it really did save my life. There was a day that I didn't want to go to TAFE, and as soon as I woke up in the morning, I just had that playing in my head, and until I got up and got changed, it stopped playing.
So it's almost like you were reprogramming your mind into a different mindset.
And not even knowing it really at the time, but just the motivational speeches made me feel something, and they made me feel like there's something to feel good about and to work towards, knowing that it just felt like the truth. And so, yeah, didn't even know that I was remapping my brain, but now I know that. I was listening to it on the way here because I love them. They just make me feel good.
Yeah.
And I will always listen to them. They're just amazing.
That's I can tell that you really love it.
I do. They're so good. And I share them with everybody on Facebook. I'm like, I can't get enough of them.
Yeah. What I'm interested in our viewers will be that feeling you're saying, the motivation that you were getting. Like, what was that feeling there? Was it in your solar plexus, your gut? Did you go?
I call it that feel. It's like love. You can speak love, but it's not something to be spoken. It's all about the feel. Like, you feel love and you feel happy and you feel the universe. You feel the connection. It's all about that feel and, connecting with the energy with people. And, you don't talk about the energy, or you can, but like, it's not there to be talked about. It's there to be felt. We all live with connection, and the connection is not by words, it's by feeling.
Yeah.
And it's here, right here. Where, like, it's not the heart, it's the solar plexus, and that's where it sits. And it's easy to get it confused with pain because it is intense. And I used to get it confused with pain a lot. Like, why do I feel? Why is that hurting right here? But it's a pain that is good. That means something. It's like the fire.
Yeah,
the fire in your belly that is like, yeah, that is exactly what you're meant to be looking for, and that's why it's why you're feeling those kind of happy moments.
So is it like taking your power back, because that would be our power centers, they are our solar plexus, if you look at the chakra system, and then taking your power back and then connecting with yourself?
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than others.
And it was, what is this feeling? And asking why. I've always been the person that is why, and then looking for the answer. There's always an answer to why. And if you can internally look for it, it's there. Yeah.
Yes.
It's always there. You just got to be willing enough and wanting enough to look for it. Otherwise, it won't pop up.
And if you could list your 2 top answers to your whys, what would they be?
Why not?
Why? Yeah, I like that one. Yes.
And why not you?
Yes. Fantastic. That's the last 2 years of your journey. And 2 years ago, what was the decision that finally made you think there has to be another way?
It wasn't a decision, it was that feeling. It was just, I didn't feel like I was doing what I wanted to do. I was doing what others expected me to do. I dropped out of school in year 9 and didn't complete it, and I went straight into work. When I was luckily offered a job in a cafe, and 3 months later I was running a cafe of 4 people at the age of 15. So I've gotten straight into work, and from the age of 15 I followed that through, till now, and it just didn't feel like I was doing what I wanted to do. It was what other people kind of expected me to do, working in jobs that I didn't like. Making money is fine, but I don't want to do that forever. I want something that makes me feel good. And it was always like I wasn't on that happy level, and so I asked why am I not feeling happy with where I am? And so the answer would pop up in my head. So I just do it.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. It's like, if you've got the question and it's like, why am I not happy? Then you've got to find the answer, because, you have to. And if you can't find it in that moment, or, in that day, keep searching. I just kept searching. I just did not stop searching. And I'm still searching. I don't necessarily know where I'm going to go. I know where the feeling's going to go, but, I'm open. I'm open to any opportunities, and, yeah. But it's all about the feeling, knowing that, this feeling has popped up, and so you trust it. You sort it out. Problems are feelings. Feeling of pain, feeling of being hurt. And we don't like it, so we have to deal with it somehow. We can't just let it bottle up and, push it down, because eventually you're going to push them all down, and then you're going to have to bring them back up. And if there's too many there, then it's going to be confronting. It was confronting for me. Luckily, I didn't have too many because like, I'm only 24, but you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's almost like some people might call it intuition. You're following your
Yeah.
intuition to something that is making your heart sing rather than perhaps making your
Yeah.
heart sad.
Yeah, something was there, and it was definitely intuition, and I still do something. Something's there that, yeah, is calling to be happy, and it's something that we all have, I think. Yeah, we definitely all have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it sounds like, you know, from what you're saying and what I've observed of life is it's so easy to ignore it, let's say,
Yeah.
and push it down.
It feels easy to ignore it, and it feels easy to fix other people's, problems and feelings and block out your own. But is it in the end? Is it easy when you're like 40 years old and you still, pushed all down? That you're 40 years old and you've pushed that many down that now it's just bottled up, and you've got too many that you don't want to deal with it. And you don't change. I don't want to do. That's where I've kind of come to some realization is I don't want to get to 40 years old and have all these problems pushed down. That's a massive responsibility to take on. I'm not prepared to do that at all.
Yes.
I see it in a lot of people, my mum especially, and it's sad. I don't want to be like that.
So it's like you're projecting forward, saying, well, in my 40s, I want something different. And
Yeah.
I want to be content. From here on, my life is content.
Yeah, and I want to be happy with where I'm at. I don't want to have the job where it's like, I've got to go to work, and because I see that in everybody. I want to be happy with where I'm at. I want to have the good job that I created, and that I know that I can go to work with being happy. And that's all I want. At the end of the day, I just want to be happy. And my uncle asked me this question. It was like, what do you want to do in life? And I said, I just want to be happy. And that was it. And it just completely came out like that. But in his mentality, he was like, how are you going to be happy? And like, I understood that. Yeah.
Do you think there's an expectation in society that not to be happy? People are striving for it, but people might say, well, what do you mean you want to be happy?
I feel like people don't really know how to. A lot of people feel like problems are something that, I don't know, it's hard to be happy because you feel guilty. I felt guilty trying to find who I was. And, I've come to realisation that I've got this gift where I can see things that a lot of people don't see, and I can hear things that a lot of people don't hear. And like knowledge just comes to me. I don't know where I've not read it, but it's just when you open yourself up to this world, it's just very clear. And because you've been through it, you've been through the pain, and you've seen it all within yourself. You see it everywhere, and it hurts, And so, yeah, it's a tough world to be into, and so it's not always easy being happy. It's a lot of guilt as well, because you see everybody unhappy and yourself happy.
Yes, so it's like life becomes a mirror of
Yeah.
and you're moving through it. And so would you say that you're happy or you feel happy every day, pretty much?
Yeah, now definitely.
Yes.
There was points there where I would be just bawling my eyes out and just very depressed and struggling internally, like, why am I still doing this? And it was a battle, and I just didn't want to be here. I didn't. And there were times that I could have done it, and I nearly did it, and yeah, and they weren't happy. They definitely weren't happy. But now that I look back, and I've been in those kind of brink moments where the pain is like extremely painful, and it's just, I can look at it and kind of know that I'm not going to go back there, and that because I've been there, I can see where if people are in the same situation, I can help that. And what makes me happy now is that I can see the pain in other people to make the improvement. I've got the wisdom and the words to help them. And at the end of the day, everybody only ever wants to feel like somebody cares. I want to be that person to show them that I care and that I've been there. We're all striving to be happy. Let's just do it together. We've all got problems. We just need to work them out together, not singly. We're all just got different problems.
And it sounds like that caring is missing a lot, perhaps, in life. And if we have that care, and then you cared enough about you that you decided to get happy.
Yeah, and I was sick of just people being so negative around me. So I've always been happy. I've always been the person to pick people up. My entire life since I was a kid, even though I've not had a good, or the childhood's been good, but it's not, the events in it hasn't been too good. But I've always been happy within myself, kind of thing. It was more the people that I was hanging around with, and everybody wasn't happy. So, because I'm very empathetic, I was, I could feel it, and so it was annoying me that I was watching everybody, and I can see this unhappiness. But inside, I was asking why. Why do we have to be like this? It doesn't have to be like this, and that was making me unhappy. So then the internal battles of, why, and and so I started changing me, and then I started changing other people, and so now I'm happy, and I change my friends, and they love me for it, and I love them for being them, and they changed my world. They gave me the ears to be who I am today. So every friendship that I have, doesn't matter if it's minor or major, I love everybody equally, and it's beautiful. I love it.
I can feel it. It's like really heartwarming. It is beautiful. You have got yourself in 2 years. That's pretty quick. To go back, you just touched briefly on your childhood. There was moments that maybe weren't so happy. It sounds like the happy that you carry, that you were born with, maintained and helped you through those moments.
Yeah, something I was born with, just something there that was keeping me going. Something that has been with me my whole life, and I don't know what it is. I'm not about to ask why I was born on the day that I was born, because I just was, but that has, I don't know, just stayed with me, and I'm extremely grateful for it. Yeah, because the things that I've seen are not anything that I would want anybody to see, even though that, from people from other countries have probably gone through worse. It's the same pain. There's only one pain, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through the pain, especially being a child. It's all about having fun and stuff, and yeah, it's more standing alone. I've got 3 brothers and no sisters, so I've always kind of been hanging around with boys and just not girly girl, and so not having a lot of girlfriends was a bit of a struggle, I guess, and always walking my own way or walking away from the crowd. So I was always alone, and I felt neglected. Like my dad and my mum and my brothers, and just feeling different, very different, neglected me. I think I pulled myself away massively, and I don't hate anybody for it. I don't hold any hate at all. But yeah, I was beating myself up for pulling myself away, I think, a lot.
And for being different and feeling different.
I definitely feel different. I know I'm different. Yeah. And I'm okay now with being different, because I can see that I'm happy, and I'm happy for being different and finding who I am. And because I can see my life pattern really, and it's very vivid, and I can remember everything in detail. And so it is, I can look at the painful bits and happy bits, and know that even though I've had struggles, I've gone through it, and I'm happy, and a lot of people haven't had, as bad as struggles as I have, and they're extremely sad. So yeah, it's been good, I guess.
And if there's a little girl watching now, or someone who's my age, your age, who's older, looking back on their childhood, what were those pivotal moments that you made decisions on, or the tools within you that you used to help you through those tough times?
Nature was a big one.
Yeah.
I feel, even to this day, my social anxiety is because I don't feel like I can feel people's pain, and I can feel people's feelings, and that's my social anxiety. That's why I pull myself away, where nature is graceful, and I hold a lot of grace, so I can connect more with nature than I can with humans. And so that's where I'm pulling myself away in social anxiety and stuff like this. And I felt that, yeah, it's easier to do that, but I can't do that, you know. So it's, yeah, that one's a tough one. It's always nature. I always turn to nature as my guidance, and it always makes me feel happy. Like flowers, I love flowers. My garden is amazing, you know, and I've got a sustainable kind of way of the way I've done my garden, and it's all edible. Everything is edible pretty much, and there's always flowers, and that's where I've turned. Just feel like nature's my coping mechanism, I think. Yeah, but everybody's different, you know, and somebody might pick food. I'm not too sure. I don't really know, but you just have to find it somewhere. Something that makes you feel good. Just grab onto it and know that that's what you got. Mine's nature. I think everything is nature. Everybody's is nature, really.
Yeah,
Nature's
it's the joy, isn't it? It's that
Nature's
joy that
graceful.
makes your heart sing.
Yeah.
You can smell a flower, or
Nature's graceful, and it's not forced. You know, it's not forceful as well, and it's there to be enjoyed, and it doesn't talk back. It doesn't. It's not arrogant. It's not, you know, in your face. It enjoys your company, and I think that's where, if you can talk to the plants and if you can understand the connection that one human or one being has with nature and with the universe, then you don't really have to talk to like people, humans. You can walk through life talking to the universe, and that's where you find the happiness. Humans get in the way of that, and that's where the struggle comes in. But yeah, so we all have to know that we have a connection with the universe, and that, you know, and every being, just listening to the voices that come from other people is the struggle, and that's what breaks it down.
so it's finding that balance.
Yeah, it is.
And for you, you say you felt different. What is that difference? Can you identify it?
I know that I see the world differently to other people, and the way my brain works is on a very fast scale. My knowledge intake is extremely fast. I don't know why I am the way I am, and so yeah, that's where the difference comes in. I'm not about to ask why I am.
Acceptance.
And I think that's it, and it's acceptance, and I'm just coming to realization, and I've come to realization of acceptance as well, and so in the last 2 days I've been extremely happy. I've been a massive internal healing, and it's never external that we have to heal. It's always internal. We don't, nature doesn't heal itself, like it just is what it is, and we feel like we have to externally heal things, but it's not. It's certainly internal, and that's where I found all the answers, internal.
So it's becoming responsible for your own emotions, feelings, like
Yeah.
self-regulating instead of externalizing it, and then
Yeah.
exploring that within yourself.
Yeah,
And
wanting to find out, why you feel like this. It's all about connecting with your soul and your chakras and your spirituality. And I never used to think that I was spiritual. I didn't really like that word, and so I never used to kind of tell people, I'm spiritual. I always used to say I'm more connected to the universe than a lot of people are. It doesn't mean that none of I've just got this special ability. I just clicked onto it earlier because when I was a child, I just found that I walked alone, so I walked alone with nature, and that's the universe. And so I felt comfortable with that. And internally, that's where we need to be. We need to feel grace, and that we need to feel love, and so that's what nature has already got. And I already found that early on, and it's just connecting back to that. In my teenage years, I went had a bit of a struggle there, and I lost it, and just connecting back to that now, and it's. Yeah, we all have to do it. We all have to find that us.
Yes.
Who we are. We're not who people think we are. Or who expectations of what people think of us, or it's what we think about ourselves. And that's what the battle is. How well do you know yourself? How well are you willing to know yourself? Because it's all about the self.
Yeah, even though it may be painful, but it's discovering who yourself is and becoming to love yourself so that you're not unhappy all the time.
Yeah, Like I'm doing counselling and community service course part-time, and my first class we had to write just some value of ours on the board, and mine was have to love yourself before you can help others. And the teacher was reading some of them out loud, and she read mine out loud, and she said, how many of you love yourself? I instantly, it was like, my hand was like straight up. I didn't even think about it. It just went straight up, like had a mind of its own. But nobody else put their hand up, and that made me sad. It's like, doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why won't you do that? Like, my hand went straight up without any hesitation at all, but nobody else's hand up, and it's like a whole class of 10 people or more. It's confusing. It makes me sad that nobody believes that they love them. Like, why?
And in their own self-love.
What are they looking for? Like, what's the meaning of life then if you don't love yourself? Because you can't. And that's selfish as well, I feel. If you're in a relationship and you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? You know? You've got to love yourself first.
So it's identifying what it is. Because what is love? If you don't know what it is and you're not feeling it yourself, how can you offer it to someone else?
You can't give it to somebody if you don't have it yourself. It's impossible.
Because you don't know what it looks like.
You don't even know what it is.
Yeah. Or what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. And finding love is finding who you are and finding where you're at yourself in the universe. Okay, you know, even if you're 30 years old and you know you've done all this stuff, but you feel like you could have done more, it's acceptance and responsibility. And okay, I'm 30 years old, but I can change now, knowing that it's all about choice, and we all have a choice in life.
Because we're never too old to change. It's just
Definitely
finding
not,
the willingness.
No way.
Yeah.
And if you think that you are, then geez, like, just, no way.
So
Never too old.
Yeah, and if you think that, then that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And can I ask you, going back to, you said you left school in year 9, can you remember the thoughts around that at the time?
I just didn't fit in. They didn't teach the things that I wanted to learn in school. I didn't actually. My mum used to read to me when I was a kid, and I never used to read to myself at all. I never used to read my homework. I never used to do my homework. I wouldn't call myself dyslexic because I read books like no tomorrow now. But my mum used to read to me, and I just never read, never was interested in learning things for myself. Listened to a lot of stuff that teachers would say, but never really soaked it in too much. And it was all because it wasn't stuff that I was interested in. And then when I dropped out of school in year 9, that's because I'm not interested in algebra. My connection is all about the universe, and they weren't teaching philosophy, they weren't teaching astrology, numerology, cosmology. That's what I get into. All about nature and the universe, how the human mind works, psychology. I love psychology. Just knowing how the brain works and with connection and plants and colours, and I'm fascinated with it. I can't get enough of it, and it's never ending, but they weren't teaching that in school. And so that's why I dropped out. I just felt like I didn't fit in. That's where I was different. I didn't find it until I was 21. A voice came into my head saying, you've got to change. You can't keep doing this anymore. If you keep doing this, you're not going to be happy. And this was when I was 20, like just before my 21st birthday, and I really listened to that voice because it was quite odd because I had never had that kind of so abruptly in my head, and very loud as well, and I wasn't going to ignore that because it just sounded the truth. And so as soon as I turned 21, that's it. I snapped and I changed, and I started finding what I liked, reading books, and I read so many books. I've never walked into a bookshop and walked out with like 2 bags ever.
What sort of books? Like inspirational books?
Yeah, just books about astrology, cosmology, just everything about nature, connection, psychology, and I'm just philosophy. I love philosophy, and like if you're a philosopher, then you know that you know a little bit about everything, but not the full thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit about everything.
Yeah. Alchemy. I love alchemy, and it's an ancient kind of history thing, and it's all about turning base metals into gold. Physically, you can do it, you know, if you tried, but it's more like turning base metals into gold internally. It's a soul-searching thing. That's where I found my connection. And it's all, history and all that kind of stuff. Egyptian astrology, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Go into it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I want to go travelling so bad. Yeah.
And so what's next for Briar? As of today, you've overcome one of your fears today with the social anxiety and talking to us.
I don't know. And I'm happy with that as well. I'm happy, with not knowing, because I know that it's going to be okay, and that I'm, happy with who I am, and that I'm working towards doing something about it, and I'm not just sitting on my couch and not doing anything about it. I want to do something, but I'm keeping it all open. I'm keeping, my opportunities and everything open.
And it's okay to not know, whereas I think as a society where, even from 7 or 8 years old, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're 27, so what would I like to do now? You're making steps, you're studying.
Yeah. Like I was doing my my chefing apprenticeship, and I love cooking. I absolutely can't get enough cooking, and I'm a good cook. And so I was doing my chefing apprenticeship, second year in, and I was enjoying it. But then I was thinking, like, do I see myself, 40 years old, being a chef in the kitchen? And no, like I couldn't see myself doing that, and I just felt like, it just didn't. Why am I doing this then? If I'm not going to see myself as 40 years old in the kitchen, I feel like I should be doing something else that I want to be doing. Even though I loved cooking, the answer was no, so I had to look for something else. And I did.
Well, congratulations on your journey.
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to find what I want to do as a career. But at the moment, I think I've come to some realisation that I love writing. I've got the words to be a writer, and I've got the words to inspire others. I just feel that I'm already doing that with my friends. My friends are already changed from the way that I've changed within me, and then giving them the knowledge as well. They've inspired themselves to search further, and I've kind of given them the key to open their own world. Yeah, and I feel like I want to do that along my travel journeys. I want to travel, see the world, just experience amazing things, and share my knowledge, blog about it, be a photographer. That's what I want. That's what I feel like I want to do. I think that's definitely what I want to do. Just getting to that point. I think it'll come.
It will, and it sounds very exciting because I think we can get so goal orientated we forget the journey and the steps in between, which is it's to becoming that photographer. It might be 5 years, 8 years away perhaps, but you're taking steps.
Yeah.
And you're trusting that it will all work.
You have to trust it. We can't kind of force life, at all, because life is not there to be forced. And if you think like, I'm going to do this because it's going to get me there, and something might pop in your way that's it.
Yes.
Decent. And it always, so if you just let life flow naturally, knowing that it's going to be okay with whatever happens. If somebody pops in there, let it flow, and they're in there for a reason. The connection is there for a reason. So now that I've come to some realisation that, I was forcing my life, and I was pushing myself, and every day, like, I was just trying to build myself to do something forcefully, and I wasn't getting to where I wanted to get. And now that I've let go of that control, I can see the flow, and I can feel the flow, and it feels good.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't even know where I'm going with it, but it feels good. I feel like it's gonna be okay.
So it sounds like you stopped the jam. We can force and push something to the point where it's really not working, but we continue to do it. And you took the steps back to create the space.
You got to take 2 steps back to take 2 steps forward.
So that you can move forward. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's all kind of when you really want something, and you really want it that bad, it just never comes. It never comes to you. And then when you don't want it, that's when it comes. Why? So I ask why, and then these things, I don't read about these things, I ask why, and the knowledge kind of gives me the answer. maybe that day or that week I'll get the answer, and I'm like, that's why.
That's why, yes.
The universe works. If you want something and you ask for it, the universe will create it. If you think negatively, the universe is going to create that for you. If you think that your life, should be kind of forced, it will be forced in a way that you won't get what you want, but then you ask for happiness and you believe in happiness, and you're going to get that. The universe will create it because you are the universe. And internally, that's what you feel inside. So the vibration you send out is happy.
So you're totally in control of
yeah.
your own life,
whereas
a lot of us don't feel that we are.
And that's where the happiness comes in, knowing that I've got this thing now that I've kind of grabbed onto.
Sounds like freedom. Like you have the freedom to live your life how you want.
Yeah, definitely. And my uncle also said to me, like, where do you want to, what do you want to do, or where do you want to go? I just want to be free, and that's exactly how I feel. And I don't want to feel like I'm trapped in some job that I hate. I just want to be free. And then I watched this documentary of asylum seekers trying to get over here to Australia and what they go through. Even though they are on a boat, they've got paperwork there, and they're pushing their whole family from a country that they're trying to save their family from. And I watched that documentary. It was hard, and it just took all my problems, and that whole freedom thing. I was like, man, that's nothing when I'm in Australia, and I really cherished my life for that. And that all my problems just went out the window. I just couldn't believe it, and I couldn't even sit there and cry because it was just so confronting, and I just felt like I didn't have the right to cry. And when they're not, and they're so strong, and they're fighting for freedom, and I'm complaining about trying to find freedom. Yeah, in a different and I just felt prison sort of. I just felt you have no right, or I just not that I don't have the right, but for me, how to deal with it was you don't have the right. Like when they're trying to go through something like that, and you've got a good life. Really put in perspective of how my life is, and even though it's not perfect, it's okay.
So can you think of 2 inspiring ideas that you live your life by that you would like to tell our viewers?
2 inspiring ideas. Trust in yourself, because that's all you've got. And know that what you've got is going to be okay. I don't know if that's 2 ideas, but believe in yourself. Believe is a massive word. You've got religions, and just everything is based on belief. Believing that you're happy will get you to happy. Believing that, religion is like believing in the Bible, whatever, and it's all about belief. That word belief is very, very powerful. You believe in something and it'll happen, and it'll be real. Like you can believe that there's, I don't know, fairies in the air, and it's probably is real in somebody else's eyes. Just because you don't like somebody else doesn't believe it, they don't say it. So that word belief is so powerful and strong. You believe the world is amazing, and it's amazing. I believe that the world is amazing, and that everybody is amazing. I think that everybody's beautiful. I always tell myself that. I really believe it. I feel it.
You feel it here.
I feel it.
Because you believe it, and it's your truth.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, so very, very much for sharing your story and your inspiration, and thank you for your honesty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
And thank you for watching us today. If you'd like to connect with Briar's story, you can go to our website, 1000women1000ways.com.au, and join us in our chat room for any comments and inspirations that you might like to share. Thank you for watching.